Good afternoon, judges. My name is Ryan Chow.
And I am Sean Su from Victoria School Team 1, Nekosuki for category C1. This video is about our learning journey in making our plane. This is the final design of the plane, the same one used in the proof of flight video. When we first started researching for our planes, we quickly laid out the framework and priorities of our plane. Since we were relatively beginners at the hobby, we wanted a plane that was stable yet maneuverable, a design that would truly be best of both worlds. We also wanted a sleek yet purposeful and practical design for our planes. We began our research on designs of different wing platforms, sizes, controls, etc.
The design of the plane was chosen to be inspired from World War II era warbirds and dogfighters, where propeller engines were still used, and we found it apt for our own plane. The straight lines and rounded edges of the propeller mount drew inspiration from the Imperial Japanese Air Force's top plane, the Zero Fighter. Straight leading edges and tapered wings came from the P-51 Mustang, a renowned plane in the war theatre as well. The tapered wings increased the aspect ratio of the wing in our plane, improving the lift. The smaller wingtip also decreased induced drag by reducing the size of wingtip vortices where the lower air mixed with the upper surface air. The boat underbelly of the plane came from the Saunders Roe Princess, the largest all-metal flying boat to have ever been constructed, to hopefully provide the same structural strength that will reinforce the structure.
The plane's backbone and main structure came from F3P, with its unique capability of being light and maneuverable while maintaining passive stability without needing to add too many additional stabilizers. With F3P, it had a minimal front profile, ensuring lower drag. Utilizing its property of being slow, we were able to increase safety as the plane would be much easier to control as we were flying indoors. Using 3mm styrofoam and thin carbon fiber spar, it weighed a total of 155 grams, inclusive of the battery.
We have gone through many rounds of research and trial and error, and they identified the best wing shape for the plane. Here, we have a few wing designs before deciding on which one to use. Firstly, we had a forward-swept wing. In flight, though the nose of the plane can point higher without the aircraft going into a dangerous stall, the wing seemed to have increased pressure on it as it would either tear or fall off at higher speeds. For the second wing design, we based it off of an elliptical wing. The wing shape provided the minimum induced drag on the plane when we tested it. However, as we did it in the hall, we felt like the plane flew a bit too fast for our liking, and managing the throttle was challenging as it was very sensitive. Here is our final design. We've done a high taper wing which has decreased the drag on the plane just enough and has provided enough lift too, which we have found the most comfortable to fly with as the throttle was easier to manage. The slower speed allowed us to have more control over the plane for better maneuverability.
We also experimented with different types of undercarriage of our plane. We first went with a design that was shaped like a landing gear to enhance our design. However, we soon found out that this produced unnecessarily large amounts of friction with the ground while taking off, causing it to nosedive. We swapped the bases of the undercarriage with small flat pieces of styrofoam, sanded with sandpaper to make it as smooth as we could. We also cut down the weight by using carbon fiber spar to support the structure instead of the piano wires we were using before. All of this resulted in successful takeoff and landing. It was able to achieve a shorter takeoff distance and was able to withstand harder landings.
While flying our first iteration of our plane, we noticed the wing tended to move up and snap off the superstructure. We resolved this by adding additional spar connecting from the ends of the wings to the cockpit.
The plane had bell-shaped cutouts on each wing to provide rolling resistance and improve lateral stability. The large surface area of the cockpit also contributed to the stability. For the control surfaces like the aileron, elevator and rudder, we had experimented with a push-pull rod and string rigging. In this picture, though hard to see, is the string rigging. We found the string rigging inconsistent, experiencing delays in our input which decreased our control over the plane. The string was also fragile, usually putting too much or too little stress and tension on the control surfaces and moving them out of place. The tension had to be just right to avoid putting too much tension on the control surfaces.
On the other hand, the control rod in this slide performed much better and was able to give an instantaneous response. In addition to that, the rod was able to push and pull on the control surfaces with more consistency and force, making sharper turns. The rods will also remain unaffected through wind or the plane bending. It also helped in the manufacturing processes of the plane, which decreased our workload.
We have come to the end of our learning journey. Through all the research, trial and error, and sweat and tears, we have come up with the design that best works to our needs and which is appropriate for our skill level, taking into consideration the safety aspect as well. We hope that you have enjoyed this journey with us. This has been Nekosuki from Victoria School. Thank you for watching!